Can we do some small shortcut today of reading the verse directly? Sahil Prabhu, Shovit Prabhu, Aman Prabhu, thank you for joining. Devotees at the center, thank you very much for. Hmm. So we have studied lot many verses by this time. Uh, we will read the Prashant Yadav. Who is Prashant Yadav? I'm not remembering or what. Prashant.
Yes,
Prashant.
Prabhuji.
Dandavad, Dandavad. Okay, okay, okay. Welcome, welcome. Keep coming every time.
Okay, Prabhuji.
So, have you read the verses? No, no. We will read the verses. Recitation of the recitation of the all the verses will not do today. I want to. So this one is 22nd, 23rd, 24th. Combinedly together, all three of them are at one place. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Yasya Brahmadaya Deva Veda Lokascharachara Nama Rupa Vibhedena Palvya Kalaya Krita Yatharchishogne Saviturgavhastayo Niryanti Sanyanta Swakrutasvarochishaha तथा यत्तोऽयं गुणसम्प्रवाहो बुद्धिर्मनः खानि शरीरसर्गः स वै न देवासुरमत्यर्तिर्य अङ्गस्त्रीन षण्डो न पुमान् जन्तुः नायं गुणः कर्म न सन्न चासन् निषेधशेषो जगताद शेषः. Yes, quite difficult verses as such, but to read, to understand, they are very simple. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, His Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The Supreme Personality of Godhead creates His minor parts and parcels, the jivas, Jivatattvas, beginning with the Lord Brahma, the demigods, the expansions of the Vedic knowledge, Sam, Rig, Yajur, and Atharva, and including all other living entities, moving and non moving, with their different names and characteristics. This is the verse number 1 in the line. Then the second one. As the sparks of a fire or the shining rays of the sun emanate from their source and merge into it again and again, The mind, the intelligence, the senses, the gross and the subtle material bodies, and the continuous transformation of the different modes of the nature all emanate from the Lord and again merge into Him. This is the second one. And the third verse, which he describes here together. He is neither demigod nor demon, neither human nor bird or a beast. He is not a woman, man, or neuter, nor he is an animal. He is not a material quality, a fruitive activity, a manifestation, or non manifestation. He is the last word in the discrimination of not this, not this. And he is unlimited. All glories to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the third verse. Savaina deva suramartya linga nastri nashando napuvan na jantuhu nayam gunah karmana sanna chasan nisheda josho jagatadashesha. Okay, anybody would like to read that purport? Online devotees can read some of any of you. I think our regular reader is not available today. Huh? Huh? What's up? What's up? Yes. Yeah, so many verses. Prabhupada has given small purport, but many aspects of our philosophy are covered in these verses. So, would like to have a recap? I think last time only Aman Prabhu was there online, right? Aman Prabhu, would you like to share some points from the last time's discussions as a recap of our. There was a verse where Gajendra was telling the Lord that the unalloyed devotee is fully surrendered to him and don't desire anything in material platform, something like that. Hmm? Or should I describe this verse? Okay, we'll go ahead with the description of this verse. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोधिष्ठं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं स्वाङ्ग्रजातां सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितां च नमा ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामीति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरतुषे नमः हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यस्य कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार Mining Umesh Prabhu is there now. So we have
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So we have completed many beautiful verses. I love this verse very much because of one reason. I am also reading for the first time this verse. And first time in the sense, must have read in a very great flow, but in the matter of contemplating, presenting, and all something like that. This time, the first one is spent so much time on this verse. So I was happy with this verse, very happy to read this verse because of one reason, and that is so beautifully the concept of the Supreme Lord is described here. It's very extremely difficult to describe properly uh, the Lord. And it's not just our concept, this is everybody describes. Other religion also describe. And our Shastras very nicely describe. It's just impossible to describe about the Supreme Personality of God. And they give the reason also very nicely, understanding of why we cannot do it. It's also given very profoundly, and that is the uh, our senses cannot perceive. What that verse is there? Na, Sevan mukhe hi jivado swayameva spuratyada. This verse it is. What all we perceive in this world, what all we can understand in this world is all material, right? Uh-huh. And subtler substance of this material also world cannot be understood very nicely. We just understand very gross ones, the shape and size of and the weight of the solid materials or something like. As the things go subtler and our access and our understanding towards that becomes very less and less, right? The mind and the intelligence and the egos, the vritti, chitta are even more difficult to understand, and the soul is more difficult to understand, and the Lord is most difficult to understand. And why it is like that? There is a reason behind why it is like that, because we are in this material world and will be able to perceive only the material things. How can we perceive the Lord, which is completely spiritual and don't have in a smallest connection or content of this material world? Nothing is there in the Lord, which is material. Why it is so beautifully described. Recently, I was reading or hearing about Lord Krishna. and there were some time perspirations in him. There were sometimes perspiration in the sense that when the fighting used to be there, then sometimes the sweat and the droplets of the sweat used to come. Sometimes there was a fierce fighting, the blood used to come, right? And when Rukmani's letter came, recently we were discussing his beautiful incident of Krishna going to the Kaudinyapur in Nagpur, near Nagpur, and kidnapping Rukmini Devi. So that time Krishna was, by reading the letter of Rukmini Devi, Krishna was incessantly shedding the tears of love. What a devotion Rukmini Devi has for me, like that. So this, and then you can see the tears, we can see the sweat, we can see the blood, but all of them are not uh, material. They are not material, right? They are also very great spiritual things. One Gangaji who came from the lotus feet of the Lord, she is so divine now also. There is huge body of waters in the world, but people go to Ganga to take bath, right? Kumbh Mela happens on the bank of Ganga, not anywhere. So this is the Lord's things are extremely divided. It's not ordinary or it's not material, basically. What is being described in these verses. So he is divine in the nature, and then Krishna was shedding the tears because when the Brahmana came taking the letter of Rukmini to Lord Krishna, Krishna said, "You only read." And then description comes that why Krishna told him only to read, because he was thinking that he will not be able to control his emotions when he will be reading the letter of Rukmini Devi. Rukmini's letter was filled with great devotion and appeal for the Lord to come and kidnap her, which is actually the should be the motive of our life. One day Krishna should capture me also by being happy with my service and devotion and love for him, something like that. That is the aspiration of a devotee. Hmm. So when Krishna was when the Brahmana was reading the letter, Krishna was shedding the tears. Now these things are seen in the material world also, right? People write the love letters and sometimes they cry also, and the expression of the love can be seen. But again, these all activities of Krishna, we saw that perspiration and blood and other things. And here these emotions are there. When we see the Lord from this Lila point of view, and when we see the Lord in this performing these pastimes, then naturally people may have an understanding of Krishna being an ordinary person, Krishna being somebody like us, or something like that. All the characteristics can be seen like us only, right? And that's how many of the people in this world have misunderstood the Lord. And that's why I was telling these verses are very beautiful because they give a real understanding about Krishna. It's very difficult in this material world to properly describe the Lord. At least the people should very nicely describe the way our scriptures describe that by all these external observations, one should not conclude what the Lord is by his own understanding. You may see the emotions, you may see many material activities going on in the life of Lord. Why the Lord is doing it? Right. One of the places Srila Prabhupada writes uh, that when the arrow used to be shot and then sometimes used to hit Lord Krishna, and as a natural consequence of somebody shot the arrow, the blood oozes from there. The wound happens and all, something like that. But then it was for many reasons. One of the reasons is one who is fighting with him he also should feel that he's doing something. He's fighting, right? He's shooting the arrows and nothing is happening. The transcendental body of the Lord cannot have anything. The arrow cannot touch, arrow cannot pierce. What to speak of the Lord? The tiny, insignificant Jiva also cannot be harmed that way. What is that verse of Srimad Bhagavad Gita? Nainam chindanti shastrani, nainam dharati pa. This is spoken for what? This is spoken for the Jiva, a living entity, soul. No, no, super soul, how can something happen? Nothing will happen like that. But somebody who is fighting and he's shooting the arrow, arrow is hitting, and nothing is happening. Then now the opposing party will be become frustrated, demoralized, disoriented. हाँ क्या कर लेगा फाइटिंग करके फायदा क्या है इधर कुछ होता ही नहीं इनको something like that. That is one. Second one is sometimes by these descriptions the people who are foolish in nature will not be able to understand the actual nature of the Lord, the divine nature of the Janma Karma Chame Divyam Evam Yo Vetti Tatvata. Those who doesn't know truth, that the Lord cannot be harmed like this. And those people who cannot put faith on this supreme understanding of the Lord will get separated. चले जाएंगे वो लोग. हाँ, मानुषिम तनुमाश्रितः परम भावम अजानन्तो मम भूत महेश्वरम. Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita, वो लोग आएंगे, they will never understand my supreme nature. So Krishna is performing a beautiful pastime of fighting, loving, being in tension, showing the various moods and emotions, which actually increases the love of a devotee. Sees the great, you can be able to perceive the greatness of the Lord. So beautiful. What Rukmini Devi will make a difference in the life of Krishna? As such, nothing. Right? Krishna is Swarat. Krishna is perfect. Krishna doesn't need anything. Then probably somebody like that will be there. Why he will shed the tear for somebody? अरे मेरे को क्या जरूरत है यार सब अपने पास है. What is required in I don't lack anything. It's not that there are no servants or nothing like that. Lakshmi sahasrashat samprapase vyamaram govindam madi purusham tamaham bhajami. Millions of Lakshmis are serving Lord Krishna, Lord Narayana in Vaikuntha. Still, the devotee like us will pray, then Krishna will take a note of it. Then the devotee like us will pray, then he will try his best to fulfill our wishes. The devotee like us will pray, he will make some arrangement by which he will be taking us to his abode. Why he needs all these things? He doesn't need all these things, right? Why he needs? And still somebody writing the letter and is crying. Is such a great Lord, na? You can understand if somebody has everything and his life is filled with all kinds of wonderful opulences. So if somebody is approaching him for something, he will not be impressed or having a lot of concern for it, unless he's a very great gentleman, right? So Krishna is so beautiful, so loving towards every single living entity. Like everybody becomes a devotee and he takes care of him, loves him like that, the way he's loving, expressing this love towards Rukmini Devi. Rukmini Devi also says, if I'm not qualified by this time, so that you will go come and kidnap me, I am ready to wait for millions of more lifetimes where I'm going to perform more and more devotional service and gather more and more merits of devotion. And someday, in some lifetime, in millions of lifetime, I may be qualified where you may accept it. But my desire is that you accept me now. This is our desire. But whether Krishna will accept or not, we don't know. So when we see all these emotions and expressions and physical presentations of the Lord, in his Lila pastime. There is a very great possibility to understand him another materialistic person, other material person. But it is not like that. All is done to enhance the Leela. Prabhupada gives this understanding at one place. जो भी कर रहे हैं वो जो भी कर रहे हैं whatever is he being doing, he is feeling hungry, अरे बोले जल्दी दो भूख लगी है कि नहीं, जाके stealing the butter, all these things, and telling lies and this and that, everything कुछ भी, everything is done to enhance the flavor, the pleasure of the Leela which the devotee is going to experience. Right? You take it's all done for that purpose. So that the devotee will enjoy hearing about him more and more and more and more and more. And how much more? Why so many things? Because he wants that the devotee should hear and enjoy it more and more about me. Right? And devotee, you must have heard that analogy where the devotee describes milk, pure white milk. Yes, very nice, nourishing. Now you make that milk into rabdi. Is it? is it? Is it better? Yes. Why not? Of course, milk is fantastic. There is no question, no argument with it. The rabdi, oh, rabdi is very nice. If you add in the rabdi some dry fruits, amazing. Add some sugar, wow, very nice. And add some camphor. How many people can add the camphor? It's an art of adding the camphor. Camphor cannot be added just like that. You require to be very expert man. And खाने वाला कपूर अलग आता है, और आरती वाला कपूर डाल दिया गड़बड़ हो जाएगा. And then you can decorate that whole rabdi in a bowl. You can add some rose petals over it. You can add some kesher strands on it. Amazing! It's going on increasing and increasing and increasing. The Lord can come here and fight and kill the demon. Milk. But Nashikdev comes and waits for the Hiranyakashipu. Sometimes he releases the Hiranyakashipu. Jao bhai, you have, you can be happy that you have won or something like that for some time. It's all our flavors. When Krishna is coming, he's fighting, he's kidnapping, he's crying, he's showing the characteristics of another ordinary human beings in this world. It's all to increase. Just imagine. I was so touched by that event where Krishna was crying while reading the letter of Rukmini Devi. Ah, and how we will not feel something for the Lord, somebody who's like this. So you can very easily understand the taking the shelter of some materialistic things of this world, emotions and expressions of this world is to increase the beauty, to increase the nectarian taste of the devotee enjoying his pastime. That's why it is there like that. So such wonderful Lord is there in this world. But when we see some kind of material aspects of his life, should not be seen as an ordinary person, his divine personality. Whatever is applicable to the soul, that is Nainam Chandanti Shastrani, some basic things. This and onwards, everything and much more is applicable to Krishna, Lord Rama. They're not simple. And then another aspect, this is one which I wanted to share. And another one I wanted to share was this is the first verse which describes. The first verse describes that Lord has created all the things in this world. And He has done the naming of it. I'll read the translation as it is for you. The Supreme Personality of Godhead creates His minor parts and parcel, the Jiva Tattvas, beginning with Lord Brahma, the demigods, and the expansions of the Vedic knowledge, and including all other living entities, moving and non moving, with their different names and characteristics. When I read this, one of the very fundamental doubts which used to come in my mind went away. I used to think, इतना सारा creation है, it's a huge creation, billions of things are there. Who must have named them? कि इसको आपके एक घर पे बच्चा पैदा होता है तो नाम देने के लिए मुश्किल हो जाता है। ये दो कि वो दो, ये नाम ठीक है कि वो नाम ठीक है। हाँ, तो sometimes it becomes very difficult even to give one entity one name. और घर के 4 लोग 4 चीज़ें बोलते हैं। कोई बंटी बोलता है, कोई कुछ बोलता है, कोई कुछ बोलता है। दादी एक बोलती है, दादा एक बोलते हैं। इतना कन्फ्यूजन है, एक एंटिटी के लिए एक नाम देने के लिए। और यहाँ तो क्या-क्या नहीं है। मैं बोल रहा था कहाँ कौन नाम दिया है इसके? इसके सारे के नाम भगवान ने दिए, है कि नहीं? मैंगो को बोलना चाहिए। किसने बोला मैंगो बोलना चाहिए बोल के? Who has told that we should say the mango to the mango? It becomes so difficult why how the names came. Of course, I read at other places also, but here it is explicitly described, right? That all the names in our own temple garden, there are so many flowers. सबको नाम है, सबको उनका उनका नाम है। हालांकि कितने सारे तो बॉटनिकल नाम भी है, ये सब नाम है, मगर द मोस्ट कॉमन नेम्स आर देयर। इतने सारे फूल है, इतने सारे उसके नाम है, सबका कैरेक्टर। आई वाज थिंकिंग इट्स सो डिफिकल्ट टू गिव द नेम्स लाइक दिस, राइट? But it is very nicely gave the names. The name of colors are there, the names of flowers are there, the names of mountains are there, the names of rivers are there, the names of cities are there, the names of entities are there. The chair, the table, the specs, the buttons, so many tubes and fans and this and that. How many names? Millions of names. कितने सारे नाम देने। So this creation, even the names which are given in English, when we are we are hearing this description, then probably you may be thinking, अरे इंग्लिश वाले नाम कौन दिए? मराठी वाले, संस्कृत वाले तो ठीक है, हम लोग समझ सकते हैं। इंग्लिश वाले कौन दिए? इंग्लिश वाले भी भगवान ने दिए, तेलुगु वाले भी भगवान ने दिए। देयर इज वन थियरी विच इज प्रेजेंटेड, कन्नड़ा वाले और क्या मलयालम और बाकी देशों में हंगेरी वंगेरी में क्या बोलते हैं, भगवान जाने कौन सी भाषा, वो जर्मनी, रशियन, चाइनीज, जापानीज, चाव चाव. So we may not be able to understand exactly. You see the names. And recently, Gorangpur was describing that name. Wala in South India, you have the names of 4 or 5 people. Gundappa, Channappa, and this, Lam Lam. Huge names. And in China, is small name. Ching, Chung, Chang, Ching. And it is small names. So in these languages, there is a whole presentation in the Vedic literature. I'm not expert in that, but I have heard that presentation. They have described how in Kali Yuga, Mother Saraswati taking the base of Sanskrit
नहीं है डबल।
नहीं आ रहा है प्रभु जी।
Hare Krishna. I don't know. There was some connection, internet connection problem. So there is a description which I was fascinated by. You're able to hear me? Okay. So uh, very nice, very nice. Thank you, thank you. So there is a description which I was describing to you when we were disconnected. That describes the Saraswati empowering the people in Kali Yuga to make a new language. There was one language, maybe Sanskrit language, like that, Devanagari. And then now you see so many languages, and then all of them tease each other. Kai challay, tikde tikde, like that. The people in Marathi, people others, क्या तुम इकडे तिकडे करत. So everybody feels that this language is very nice, and the other languages are not appropriate. If you see our Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj describing all this Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, you take the stones in a tin box and dum, move it. Then they say that looks like speaking Kannada and all, something like that. So nobody will be able to happily accept this particular description of his language. They will be having a war on this. ऐसे कैसे बोल दिया आपने हमको हमारे लैंग्वेज को. But actually speaking, these are not the same languages. These are only one language was there which the whole world used to speak. Now every single small, but all these languages have manifested from the empowerment given by Saraswati to different people in the different parts of this world to make another altogether a new language. The characteristics are different, our alphabets are different, the pronunciation is different, and all like that. So, why I was describing this, the naming of this world entities is not a small job. You may be considering, क्या प्रभु जी इतना डिस्क्रिप्शन कर रहे हैं उसका, मगर नहीं. There are millions of objects around us, and all of them are already very nicely, systematically named. And at least in the Sanskrit, it is even more sophisticated naming system. I was hearing that recently, this past time, related to elephant only. Then he's called Hasti. Hatti. Hatti, where this name Hatti came. The all the animals have four legs, and the elephant is the one who is having a hand. uh, who is that? He's all other animals don't have the hand. All other animals have mouth and four legs, but elephant has the hand, and that आगे वाला trunk is the hand. Then he catches with that hand and puts it in the mouth. Behind the trunk there is a mouth. You must have seen it. So because he is having the hand, that's why he is called as Hatti. I was so fascinated by that. He is Dvipa. The elephant is called Dvipa. Dvipa means one who drinks two times. So he first takes the water in the trunk. This is first time drinking. And second time he puts that water inside the mouth. Then it is called second time drinking. That's why it's called Dvipa. One who drinks two times. So these descriptions are not available in English language. Why the father should be called as father, nobody knows. Right. If the father's father is there, you call it grandfather. If the father's father is there, you call it as great grandfather. अरे ये क्या नाम हुआ है क्या, दादाजी, पिताजी, पन पन, उसके नाम होते सबके अलग अलग. So anyway, I'm not mogging any language now here. All the languages have all the names, and especially the beautiful names in the language of Sanskrit. Putra. Putra is called Putra because one who will save his ancestors, especially the father and mother, from falling into the poo. Matla in the sense, narak, hell, is called as Putra. Mantra, Putra. And from that, this comes very easily understandable. Right? Nashik Dev is called Nakhalaya. Alaya means the storehouse. Pustakalaya, Bhojanalaya. We give it Himalaya. All this. One who is having so many, is a array of so many of the nails. How many hands Nashik was having? Right? We'll find four hand wale Nashik Dev, hand eight hand wala Nashik Dev, 10 hand wala. We have billion hand wala Nashik Dev was. So many of his Rakshasas of after killing Hiranyakashipu. So Bhagavatam describes all the Rakshasas who was there in the camp of Hiranyakashipu was falling on him. हाँ, आपने वो नरसिंह देव का मूवी देखा होगा, एनिमेशन वाला. So that in that he has used club and chakra, Sudarshan chakra, and many other things. But in actually, that is very good for showing it very nice. It was necessary and it should be done. But actually, Shrimad Bhagavatam describes that when he appeared with all the weapons, but he told all the weapons, this performance, this incarnation, you all take rest. All the activities of this incarnation or the destruction will be done only by my nails. No, nothing else. कोई क्लब नहीं, चक्र नहीं, कुछ नहीं, कुछ नहीं. सारा काम मैं अपने आंखों से कर नाखूनों से करने वाला. I will do everything with my nails, and he gave the rest to all the weapons. That's why when there is 100 thousands of hands, then how many nails? Wow, so many. That's why it's called Nakhalaya. Is the such a beautiful name, is Nakhalaya. Sheila Tanka Nakhalaya. So the names are such beautiful names when it comes to Sanskrit, Devanagari. But Krishna has given again the nail is Nakha. Why it should be called as Nakha? A devotee, a sincere, मतलब scientific minded people should understand. अरे इसको नाखून क्यों बोलूं? Why should I call it नाखून or nak, whatever, nail? So we have not done this part. This has been done by Krishna. When he created the world, he creates everything. So he has created the nomenclature also. Anyway, I like this idea because I used to wonder many times. There are so many entities we call it, and just we helplessly call it. We never think of it. We never thought of it. But Krishna has done everything very systematically. So this is also one of the beautiful creation of the Supreme Lord. The first description we did was that although Krishna looks and exhibits so many material characteristics, he is beyond all of them. Second one we saw this is the this science of naming is all done by the Lord Himself. And then the third and fourth concepts are there in this now. The third one is that all the living entities and all other creation of this world is actually the manifestation comes out of him and goes inside again back. Just like they give the example of a sun and other luminaries where the light merges out and comes back again and merges inside. And the fourth one, which describes, I was very much happy with this, reading with this, is that Gajendra is describing what Lord is not. This is the This is the third verse of the series of three verses which we try to read today. He says that Savaina Deva Sura Atmatirtyang Na Stri Na Shando Na Puman Na Jantu Nayam Guna Karma Na Sannachasam Nisheda Shesho Jagatad Sheshaha. So the translation Prabhupada does is he is neither demigod nor demon, neither human nor bird nor beast. He is not woman, man, neuter, nor he is an animal. He is not a material quality, a fruitive activity, manifestation, non-manifestation. Is the last word in the discrimination of niti, not this, not this, and he is unlimited. कितना सुंदर डिस्क्रिप्शन दिया है. Why I am saying this, that this clarity and the presentation, why? Because on these particular aspects there are wars, there are religious sections which fight with each other on one small particular concept of the Supreme Lord. That's why I was telling these verses are the topmost verses of description of the Supreme Lord, which can be found in Shrimad Bhagavatam. Because if you go to the world and find out the concept of the people about the Lord, and they vary so much, and then they fight so much. In one particular religion, also, there are so many sects, so many partitions, and all those partitions are based upon some small characteristics differences, right? Some section will say the Lord cannot be come manifesting in the form of deity, and they have their own description, right? The Lord is unlimited, the deity is limited. Deity is having some shape and size and weight and dimensions and all. Of course, it's not like that. You know, when our devotees show the deities, how they show the deities, deity is this much. This hand is above, this hand is down, and it looks like odd presentation, but actually they are indicating that the Lord is unlimited, but the deity has a size. The deity of the deity, Lord is unlimited, which is having this much size of a deity, right? Like that. Anyway, but an unlimited concept is kept intact by the sincere understanding of the scriptures. We deity is unlimited. There is no question about it. बट दे somebody may argue अरे कहाँ अनलिमिटेड है. आप हार बनाने के टाइम पूछते हो ना कितना हार बनाना है बोल के, आप बोलते हो कि अनलिमिटेड हार बनाना है, बनाओ 4-5 किलोमीटर का, लगाएंगे हम उसको. ऐसे करते हैं क्या? सो देर इज अ शेप एंड साइज एंड डायमेंशन, but is unlimited and simultaneous. So I am saying based upon small differences, right? Some are Shakta worshippers. They say, no, no, Shakti is the supreme. The she form of the Lord is the supreme, right? And they present it also like that. She's sitting on a lion, controlling everything, including Lord Shiva. So, and in Western philosophies, you can see so many things. Some consider the God as woman, some consider the God as man, some consider this, some consider that. Some have the Lord's form as animals. Gajendra is covering everything in the form of through Srimad Bhagavatam. You know, there are people who are worshipping the living entities or dragons. So, is this the Lord? Sometime we may come to across this question. Is this the Lord? ये ऐसा है क्या भगवान? या हमारे कृष्ण है, श्रीमती राधा रानी है, तो भगवान, you know, he is a male, Srimati Radha is female. Is this discrimination? So here is a very beautiful description. He is not man, he is not woman, he is not neuter, he is not animal. And the Lord has come in the form of boar, he has come in the form of tortoise, he has come in the form of fish, right? So is the Lord is animal? And if he's not that, or if he's Krishna also and a fish also, what is he? Actually, even a devotee who is studying our scriptures for a good amount of time also will have the difficulty. Is Krishna fish, or is the Lord is Supreme Lord is fish? He may be in the form of fish. He is not fish. He cannot be fish. He is transcendental, even if he is in the form of fish. So that's why Gajendra is, by reading these scriptures, verses very beautifully, Krishna is not bound by any form, any rule, any characteristics, any gender, anything, nothing like that. He is completely transcendental. And to understand this, it's a very difficult task. It's not an easy task, it's a difficult task. To imagine, क्या है क्या फिर ये? What is this? But that will be understand. Every devotee will be able to understand when he directly goes to the spiritual world. Everything. Prabhupada, people used to ask about so many things. Prabhupada says basic of the things you can understand, that I have come to this material world by my own uh, ichcha and dvesha, by my own desires and some enmity towards the Lord or envy towards the Lord. There are small things of this philosophy can be understood very nicely here. But all these complex things will be able to understand. One gopi has 1 crore assistants. आपको 1 करोड़ असिस्टेंट देंगे तो पागल हो जाएंगे, मन नहीं चाहिए भैया, तो भेज दो इनको लोगों को, 2 दे दो मेरे को, बस हो गया. Tomorrow is the festival, and then somebody tells you, Prabhuji, do you have a very heavy department? Yes, I need some devotees to help me. And the volunteer manager tells you, Prabhuji, here are 1 crore devotees, take with you. These are all assistants. They will make your department. He says, Nakore Baba, nahi chahiye. I don't want 1 crore assistant. What I'll do, I'll go to headache. They'll sit on my head. I want only 4. You know, but one gopi has one crore gopis are below them to serve. One gopi has manjiri is below them. And one devotee was asking me when they heard this description, बोले 1 crore लोग क्या करेंगे ये लोग? What they will do? Krishna is only one, and he has some particular form and this much. And how they will 1 crore people, what they will do there? It's not just only 1 crore at one place. Every gopi has 1 crore. इतने सारे लोग भगवान क्या करेंगे भगवान के लिए? है ही नहीं. But Krishna is unlimited. We cannot understand it. When I went to Jagannath Puri, I keep on reciting this pastime again and again. 10,000 people are there to serve Lord Jagannath in one day. 10,000 लोग लगते हैं. And I saw that चंदन सेवा 4:30 4 बजे 4 बजे 4:30 शाम दोपहर को चंदन सेवा होता है. चंदन सेवा में वो भगवान को चंदन लेके आते हैं और लगाते हैं. अभी चंदन सेवा में कितना डिवोटी लगेगा? 2 1 2 बस हो गया ना. कितना चाहिए? 2 या 3. वहां पे 15-20 डिवोटी लगते हैं चंदन सेवा के लिए. 4-5 चंदन निकालेंगे, 2-4 वाटी में डालेंगे उसको, फिर लेके प्रोसेशन होता है वो चंदन का. आगे गार्ड, फिर तुतारी, फिर आपका कीर्तन पार्टी, चंदन लेके पालकी चंदन जिसमें रखा है उसका, पीछे लोग सारे और 2-4 लोग क्राउड कंट्रोल के लिए लगते हैं. बाजू में हटो चंदन आ रहा है, बाजू में हटो चंदन आ रहा है भगवान का. पानी डाल रहे कुछ रास्ता साफ करने के लिए, पवित्र करने के लिए. और वो चंदन वाटी भर चंदन इतना और वो जाता है अंदर, चंदन निकलता है जहाँ पे प्रसादम बनता है वहां पे. फिर वहां से प्रोसेशन निकल के चंदन का जाता है जगन्नाथ जी के पास. फिर जगन्नाथ जी को एक पुजारी चंदन लगाता है. बोला चंदन लगाने के लिए 15 लोग 20 लोग चाहिए. अबे सॉफ्टवेयर कंपनी में 2 दिन काम नहीं रहता तो ले ऑफ कर देते लोग, बस जाओ कुछ काम नहीं है हमारे पास, है कि नहीं? और यहाँ पे तो कोई बोलेगा 15 लोग चंदन लगाने के लिए रखे है तुम लोग, वो बोलेंगे वर्क एफिशिएंसी कितना कम है तुम लोगों का, इतना छोटा काम करने के लिए इतने सारे लोग काय को चाहिए? एक आदमी बस हो गया, बाकी 15 लोगों को घर पे भेजो, है कि नहीं? You utilize the manpower in the right fashion. You are misutilizing, underutilizing the human power, something like that. अरे इन लोगों को कुछ काम धंधा कॉन्सेप्ट ही पता नहीं। अरे मजा करो, चंदन लगा भगवान को, प्रोसेशन करो उसके लिए। हाँ, पूरा बैंड बाजा रहता है आगे, चंदन के आगे। चंदन आ रहा है, चंदन आ रहा है, फिर तुतारी बजाने वाला, ढोलक बजाने वाला, उसका सिक्योरिटी गार्ड, उस चंदन का पालकी, ये वो। वाह वाह वाह, मैं बोला ये देखो, इसको इसको भगवान बोलती है, इनका चंदन भी पालकी में आ रहा है। है कि नहीं? So what 1 crore will do, what billions of crores will do, we cannot understand. There are so many beautiful unlimited service which Krishna will keep on offering, accepting and giving pleasure. When our service, I was hearing this yesterday, when our service eh, accepted by Krishna and Krishna becomes pleased with it, then we get a special mercy. The whole process of serving is to offer some pleasure to Krishna. Is he in need of that pleasure? No. He will be pleased by this service. He is not in need of this pleasure, but he will be pleased by that service. And by he being pleased with that service, we become advanced in Krishna consciousness. Wow! The devotee was describing this concept so beautifully. Is Krishna in need of our service? No. Is going to get special pleasure by our service? No. Will he be pleased by us offering the service to him? Yes. And when he pleased by the service offered by us, even if it doesn't not need it, when he becomes pleased, what will happen? We will become devotee. Wow, so beautiful it is. This is the whole process of bhakti. Prabhupada writes in that Bhagavatam that Lakshmijis are sweeping the floor of Vaikuntha. सारे लक्ष्मी जी झाड़ू लेके वैकुंठ को झाड़ू लगा रहे। प्रभुपाद बोलते हैं वैकुंठ में धूल ही नहीं है पहले तो। पोल्यूशन, धूल कुछ भी नहीं है। तो उधर श्रीमद भागवतम कारण देते हैं, फिर धूल नहीं है, कचरा नहीं है, कुछ नहीं है। चिंता मणि से भरा भरा वैकुंठ है, ये झाड़ू क्यों मार रहे? पता है आपको क्यों झाड़ू मार रहे? उधर भागवतम डिस्क्राइब करता है झाड़ू क्यों मार। व्हाट इज रिटन देयर? हाँ, एनीबडी हैज कम अक्रॉस? हाँ, भगवान देखेंगे इतनी बड़ी लक्ष्मी पूरी। हाँ, किधर से आवाज आया? So the to seek the attention, to get the attention, इतनी बड़ी लक्ष्मी जिसका पूजा दुनिया भर कितने सारे मटेरियल वर्ड्स में चल रहा है, फिर वो लक्ष्मी, वो गोपी जिसको जो झाड़ू लेके देखेंगे भगवान खुश हो जाएंगे, बोले इतनी बड़ी गोपी, इतनी बड़ी लक्ष्मी झाड़ू मार रही है। चैतन्य महाप्रभु प्रताप महाराज के ऊपर क्यों खुश हो गए? चैतन्य महाप्रभु प्रताप महाराज के ऊपर इसलिए खुश नहीं हुआ कि उन्होंने सारे भक्तों को रहने का अकोमोडेशन दिया, खाने को वो दिया। Of course, that were also important. But when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw such a big king, इतना बड़ा राजा, उड़ीसा का राजा, वो भी इलेक्टेड राजा नहीं था, 5 साल वाला, परमानेंट राजा था, जब तक जिएगा तब तक राजा रहेगा, ऐसा वाला। तो वो राजा होने के बाद भी झाड़ू मार रहे, भगवान बहुत खुश हो गए। चैतन्य महाप्रभु बिकम वेरी हैप्पी विथ। एंड उसके बाद फिर गले लगाते, एक बार उनके पब्लिक में उनके ऊपर गिर जाते जाके, किसके ऊपर भी गिर सकते हैं ना, उनके ऊपर क्यों गिरते? उनके ऊपर ही गिरते, और फिर बाद में उनको दर्शन देते हैं। सो पॉइंट टू अंडरस्टैंड वेरी सिंपल is that Krishna takes so many forms and all, just for increasing the pleasure of the Lila. He's not woman, he's not man, he's not neuter, he's not animal, he's not bird, a beast, or human being, or anything like that. His transcendental form is beyond all these concepts. Nobody should fight over all these concepts and understandings of Lord's form. Lord form is such an Ananda Vigraha. It can take any shape, any form, any direction, anything. Still, it will remain the form of Supreme Lord. So, based upon this small description, there are fights in the world. What is Lord is actually is. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. You want to share something, you can share. Whatever I try to read and understand and all these things, I try to share in front of you. But when you read the translation and purports of Srila Prabhupada, what you feel, you can share. Unmute and share. बोलिए बोलिए बोलिए.
Prabhupada was saying that Krishna also don't know why he is Lord. Like that Prabhupada was telling one point in one lecture. One devotee asked him, someone asked Prabhupada that why Krishna is Lord.
Yeah.
Then Prabhupada said that Krishna also don't know why he is Lord. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That description, one conversation comes like that where Prabhupada, even Krishna cannot understand himself. Who are we to make an endeavor to understand? He himself also doesn't know how much big he is, how much strength he has. Yes, very true, very true. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Very good. You can continue if you want to share something. I'm just yes. Anybody want to share something more from such verses of Srimad Bhagavatam?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you for wonderful class. Prabhuji, Raghunath Das Goswami in Padyavali, he gives that, means you were telling about that Rabdi, na? So, he was, he glorifies that holy name as nectar, like Radheti Nama Navasundara Sidhu Mugdham, Krishneti Nama Madhuradbhuta Gadha Dugdham. So he says that Radharani's name means Hare, we say in Hare Krishna, it is like uh, Navasundara, it is very fresh, and it is Sidhu Mugdham, it is ocean of nectar. And Krishneti Nama, Krishna's name is Madhura Adbhuta, sweet, wonderful, and Gadha Dugdham, it is like Gadha Dugdha, means Rabdi. So when these two are mixed together, na, Hare and Krishna, so it becomes ocean of Gadha Dugdham. And then again he gives detail, like you were telling, na, we add dry fruit and we add rose petals and we add so many other things. So again he says that uh, Himeti Ramyam means we
Yeah.
keep that in fridge and so then he says that
बोलो बोलो.
so he says that
Hare Krishna.
yes bro, aa raha hai kya?
Not audible.
You are audible, Broji.
Hare.
Broji, if like
Hmm.
network issue is there, you can keep
Go ahead.
So then he says that Himeti Ramyam means that name is like how sweet looks, sweet tastes very nice if it is taken out from fridge. Means garam garam अच्छा नहीं लगता है, ठंडा अच्छा लगता है. So then he describes that Himeti Ramyam and then Pibaswa Rasanekshu Dharte means then it is like we take one name and we want more. जैसे स्वीट का एक ग्लास लेने के बाद और चाहिए, फिर और चाहिए, वैसे we chant one name and then one more is needed, one more is needed, ऐसे करते करते चैंटिंग करते रहते हैं. मतलब एक चैंटिंग करते समय ही प्लान हो जाता है कि और एक करना है. Like we are drinking one glass of sweet and at that time only we are planning कि और एक ग्लास लेना है. वैसे we are chanting Hare Krishna and we are planning about next Hare Krishna, then next Hare Krishna, ऐसे करते करते बहुत सारी माला करते हैं.
Wow.
Very
I heard in bits and pieces because it was breaking in between. But when I'll come to try to when I'll come to center, then you can because it was breaking and coming and breaking and coming. So kind of gather all the parts I drank the rabdi in installments, so not getting full pleasure.
Prabhuji, break rabdi.
Okay, online people, please, if you want to share something, last 1 minute.
प्रभुजी एक फरमाइश आया है
Tomorrow we have a tomorrow. Huh?
एक फरमाइश आया है गोविंदा मगर प्रभु
Tomorrow we have